Hi everyone, welcome back to another Martin's Home and Garden Houseplant of the Week. This week we are talking about the Hoya Gracilis that has since been renamed to Hoya Memoria. But for the sake of this video, we're going to go with Hoya Gracilis. So this guy is native to the country of Indonesia. It is a beautiful vining epiphyte, and like we've talked about before in our previous videos, epiphytes are plants that grow on the sides of other plants or trees. These plants have beautiful, waxy, succulent-like foliage that has little white speckles on it. The new leaves come out as this dark red burgundy color that's really gorgeous. And they also produce these really pretty, sweet-smelling, pinkish red flowers. These plants are really popular with like houseplant collectors. A lot of people, like myself, love Hoyas. They're very popular in the houseplant community. But they're also good for beginners because they are able to adapt to a lot of different home environments. So if you have one of these, you want to know how to care for it, or if you're looking to expand your Hoya collection, we are going to show you how to care for it today. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the lighting requirements for the Hoya Gracilis. These guys love a bright and direct light. They can tolerate morning and afternoon sun, but they cannot do more than a couple hours of direct sun, or the leaves will start becoming a pale yellowish white color, and that is not good. The next thing we're going to talk about is soil mixes for these. So they need a super well draining soil mix, and since they are epiphytes, a really good mix for them is 1 part orchid bark and 1 part indoor mix, just to kind of mimic that tree bark environment that they would have naturally in their natural habitat. Another thing with these is they want to have as much drainage as possible, like we just mentioned, so don't let them sit in water at all. Make sure your pots have a drainage hole on the bottom just to increase drainage even more. They really don't want to sit in water. You want to make sure to water them whenever the top 2 inches of soil is completely dry. So if you stick your finger down to your middle knuckle into the soil, make sure you don't feel any moisture before you water them each time. So the leaves will actually wrinkle whenever they're getting too dry. So you want to water them whenever, before they get to that point of the leaves actually being visibly wrinkled. If the leaves start turning yellow, they're being overwatered. So just back off a little bit, clip those yellow leaves off, and you should be okay. They're pretty resilient. But overwatering can lead to root rot if they're sitting in water for too long. That's why the soil mix and the watering are probably the 2 most important aspects for these guys. Root rot can cause your plant to die, which is no fun. We don't want our plants to die. Another important part for this plant's care is humidity. They are native to the rainforests of Indonesia, so they love humidity. They don't necessarily need it to survive, but to thrive, they're going to want more humidity in their environment. It'll actually help increase flower production. It'll help make the leaves more vibrant and green looking. It can also actually deter pests on these guys. They're pretty prone to mealybugs. They can also be susceptible to thrips and spider mites and scale. So increasing the humidity can actually deter those pests from getting on your plants, which are really hard to get rid of. So that's another important thing. To increase the humidity, you can actually have a humidifier next to these guys, or you can mist them regularly, or even have a pebble tray. With the pebble tray, just make sure the water that you have with the pebbles is not coming in contact with the bottom of the pot, because that can overwater your plant too. So the last thing we're going to talk about is propagating these. They're actually pretty easy to propagate. You will find a node, which is where 2 leaves come out of. And you'll just cut right underneath the node. And then you'll take those 2 leaves off where the node is. And you're going to plant the node into the soil. That part has to be in the soil or the water because that is where the roots are going to grow out of. But once they get a couple inches long, the roots, you'll plant them back into soil and you'll have a whole new little Hoya. So that is all for today. We actually do have a couple announcements. We are having a sale this week only for students. It is finals week. So if you are suffering, you're struggling from the stress of finals, and you need a little houseplant therapy, bring in your student ID and you can get 20% off your houseplant purchase. We are also having another plant swap in January, and we will have the details below. So just keep an eye out for that, and come and see us in January and this week, and bring it. You'll get a discount. Sorry, but that is all for today. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next week.